It doesn't make me want to do anything. Right now, Netflix, same thing. It's a nothing burger. Below the 50, below the 100, although the 100 did cross up here. So if we can get back above the 100. And yeah, I think you're starting to really, look how thin this thing is running from 25 to not even that. So it's going to go somewhere. We're going to see what happens and have it pick a direction soon. We may enter, maybe even squeeze territory on that. Netflix, nothing exciting. CRM, we pointed it out a couple days ago. I like CRM. It looks good. Here, you've got the Bollinger Bands expanding at the top. You're breaking above all your moving averages. So CRM, and you've got earnings on CRM in about 11 days. So Broadcom, was just mentioned in there, Anish, with Broadcom, looking at it getting to 400, certainly, it's triggering higher here, good momentum climbing up. Yeah, well, I think a good butterfly in here. 400 potentially. So I think that's worth a butterfly shot as well. And when's earnings on that? I don't have them up on my screen. I'm sure it's beginning of first week of December or so. But yep, good looking trade. Possibility, Adobe, they all look similar. So they're all really kind of tense in here, pretty flat. It's just below. The moving averages are stacked for the most part, except for these short ones, which is not great. We want to see this thing pop up into here. And I'd be looking at Adobe, but we've got earnings on the 9th. AMD, I love. So I'll be putting another trade on. We just took another winner off today. Tesla, we've got a fly in there, looking good. And it's only 3 days into a squeeze, so it's early. Normally you get about an 8-day run in many cases. So that's the average is 8 days. It can be less, can be more, but we may have a couple more days to keep that thing moving. DocuSign here looks good. So I really like DocuSign. I think you're about to potentially move positive on a squeeze for some momentum. You've already got a nice, on my triggers here, for a long entry as we broke above the 8. So I think this is a good entry point here. Bollinger Bands, I'd like to see them opening up a tad more than they are. That's the only thing here, but DocuSign, not bad. Teladoc, it's not exciting for me. This is a good opportunity in here to potentially put a put spread on, but I don't want to stick around this thing quite too long yet. Roku breaking out above the new high. So Roku setting a new high today. You've got this squeeze momentum moving higher, MACD moving higher, stochastic momentum moving on. So you've got all your momentums just lined up in this thing for the last 5 days. So that Roku was a fantastic trade. If you're in it, Shop, I think you guys, Igor, did you guys put something on in Shop yesterday, or somebody did?
Yep, we had an added the money put spread on Shopify.
Yep. Today you're getting the MACD positive on the momentum, still weakening on the squeezed from the downside, so that's all good. So yeah, what was your short?
Shopify, we are in 890, 880.
Got it. So
for 95 cents. It is currently trading for about 55 cents. So we ate up about 40 cents off that 95-cent credit. So almost about a half.
Yep.
With a week to go.
Looking good today. And you've got the 100 and the 50. It's the only thing up in here. Maybe some additional resistance in here. See what happens, but that looks good. Alta already up. Home Depot, not sure why this thing's selling like it is on Home Depot. I think the earnings were pretty good. So beat earnings. I think the biggest thing on Home Depot is, and same thing with Lowe's, is I think they're just so low on stock that it's going to be starting hurting their sales. But they've jacked their prices up on everything so much anyway. Like if you try to buy, you couldn't buy wood all summer. I wanted to build something. You can't find any lumber at Home Depot or Lowe's all summer. And when you did, it was super expensive. Half the stuff is out of stock at the Home Depot I go to. So maybe that's what's hurting these guys. I don't know. But their revenues were really good. Costco got a little bit of a break on the move higher. Just keeping an eye on the side here. We're watching the momentum continue to push down. So maybe getting a little tighter in here, maybe some signs of flattening. You've got the 5-minute pointing up. So you might get a little bit more of hold. What we need the 15 to turn up. If the 15 turns up, we'll be in good shape. Some gigantic ticks over here. And as a whole, stocks are lower. No surprise to anybody. Walmart had good earnings. I think it's a good trade, good opportunity, but we've fired and we're getting a little long in the tooth on this little squeeze. So this break of the squeeze here was a good opportunity. This was it. If you didn't get in here, I don't know that I'm chasing now. I'll wait till this thing maybe settles back, comes back down to maybe the 21, and then we'll try to do it again. But it was a good fire long here. If you got in it, you had a good run. You are 8 days into the squeeze, so you're right at the average where it starts to weaken. So Walmart maybe have already gone. Target's 4 days in, and it just exploded off of the earnings. Jumping outside of the bands here. So this thing is rocking. Disney, I feel like these things are just in an island by themselves up here. Sitting around. SPX still hanging. So Disney's a little bit up there. Boeing went long, exploded out here as soon as this thing triggered right around in here, and this pull back to the 8 was a good opportunity. As soon as that 737 MAX Air news came out, it really jumped up. Nothing I'm chasing now. I'll wait till this thing comes back, plays nice with the 21, and then maybe we can look to put something on. A lot of either over or underextended. Regeneron is the disaster. I don't know if disaster is the right word, but it's down 100 points in a couple weeks here. Peloton struggling to keep its momentum. Still below the 21. I'd want to see it break the 21 for me to do anything exciting on this. We've got everything pointing potentially towards some recovery in it here. So if we keep moving up, we get a little more sideways. This is pretty sideways-ish. So we're at the 1 hour mark on our fly. I'm going to keep a real close eye. 5 minutes still showing
partially filled.
Some upward momentum. We've got a little bit of decay helping us on this. If we get any kind of a move on SPX here higher, then we're going to look to get out.
Order filled.
We're at about 1780 right now, so we're about a 50-cent winner on that fly. So we'll keep an eye on what's happening over here. The fact that this is flattening, you've got the longer green line starting to flatten. They're getting tighter. Doesn't mean it doesn't continue going down and watching the red line more. But if that green pops up above here and we're not already in the over bought area above the 40, then it looks good. We're definitely moving in the right direction for our fly. If we can get just a little bit of a pop here, maybe actually a positive tick on the here, and see what we do. MasterCard. Anish, I think you either did MasterCard or Visa or both. I don't remember. I don't remember which, but Visa, yeah. I don't remember the trade, but I remember you putting something on in here. I love Visa. I like MasterCard. So I do keep an eye on both of those. I think as we pull back in here, we're getting another opportunity. Just a little bit long. Did you go long, short? I don't remember what the trade was. Throw in chat. Long the January 185s. Okay, so awesome. It's a good opportunity. Hopefully we can get a little bit bounce off of the 21 EMA and keep running.
Looks like we got some momentum in the indexes with NASDAQ trying to take the lead. Ticks are overall still in about plus 300.
Actually just got filled on the fly. I wasn't even paying attention. So
nice. And
good winner.
UVXY is starting to roll over a little bit here, so we can get a nice pop.
Yep. So here's UVXY. It's right at the day's lows. Grinding in here. I'm going to post this trade and post this trade real quick. So yeah. Good. So another iron fly winner. That took a while.
Was that $1.50?
It was $1.50. Yeah.
$1.50. Nice.
Another $1.50. So bought the close 1680. All right, so that one's done. Margins freed back up. Winner on the fly. It's been a good month on those flies. Been a good month on everything. Anybody else want to jump in? I feel like I'm just spinning wheels a little bit right now. So if anybody's got any comments or anything they wanted to share, any trades we want to look at, we can do that. I posted. So that's our 6th straight fly winner. I probably just jinxed myself for next week, but all right. It's been a heck of a month on those. That alone is accounted for about a 3% gain in the portfolio this month alone. All right.
That is very impressive. You could put up these kind of trades with not taking overnight risk, just staying on the trade from the open until the first hour, maybe first hour and a half.
Yeah, if I only did that for this month, I'd be up 3% in my portfolio total. And zero DTAs, the spreads are also pretty good. We are 15-3 on the month, winners to losers, and that one's up also about the same amount as the flies, so a little bit more, so about another 3% from those. So together, the zero DTE trades accounting for about 6% increase in portfolio value for the month on those alone. Wheel trades also in there, about another 2-3%. So that's about 9% total between those. And then we've also had just the one bear trap. I wish we could get some more bear traps on, but we don't get not getting a lot of down days. I mean, if we keep putting these things on up days anyway, we'd be good. But when you're only getting 1 or 2 down days in the last 2 weeks, it's hard to put some of these things on, although they would have been winners since we keep moving higher.
The down days will come back. Don't worry.
Oh yeah, I know.
Careful what you wish for.
I totally get it. They will
Zoom
come back.
continues to push higher. There's definitely buyers all over this week's 435s, 440s. Very close to at the money, but Zoom is just pressing higher. I don't see any reason why Zoom cannot retest previous all-time highs. Everything's shutting down. Schools are closed in New York. I think that the recent dip on Zoom is definitely an opportunity.
Yeah. So here you go. Definitely moving up. We should maybe get by Monday or so a positive on the MACD potential. Stochastics moving up. So there's a lot of upward momentum, as obviously you can see in the chart too. You don't need indicators. Oh, I forgot to mention those 2-day to expiration trades that we started this month. Those are also up 3% of portfolio value. So those have been outstanding. I know at some point one's going to come back and it's going to take out quite a few winners. The one from Wednesday is down to 28 cents right now from the $2.10. But those we've been making $2 per contract on the 2-day TE trades, $2 a contract every 2 days. So little overnight risk, but short-term risk, and you're making $2 per contract on those. And I think it's using up about 15K, so $2 per contract. You're making $200 on your 15K. So every time you place one, it's about 1.5% gain. So on a weekly basis, on the margin we're using for those things are generating about 5% gains on margin every week so far on the 2-day trades that I've been doing. And then Gabe, you've been hitting it with yours too. Little different style, but also been profitable on those. So Ernie, been doing those 2-day to expiration trades on XSP. So there you go.
That's not a bad idea actually for a smaller account. I mean, of these 2 DTE, I do 1 contract, and that's on a pretty big account. If you do the math, you know, if you can lose $15,000 on 1 contract.
Yes, you can.
So that shouldn't really be $15,000 should be at the very most maybe 10% of your portfolio. You know, if it's more, you're doing it wrong, basically.
Right. Yeah. If you don't have enough size on those, that's a very capital intensive trade.
Market data connection lost.
But I haven't looked at doing it on SPY at all. I wonder how it will work on SPY. You could take a look at that as well. Still going to be capital intensive, but SPY gives you another way to play those 2-day trades in there. So NASDAQ's the only positive index and not by much. It's pretty flat. Let's take a look at the 5-minute. That NASDAQ had fired quite a bit, and on the 5-minute here, had a pretty lengthy squeeze, fired long here on the 5-minute. And we still haven't made a positive cross on SPY or SPX here on the 15, and maybe losing a little momentum on the 5-minute. So I'm glad we're out of that iron fly because momentum is still weak, but doesn't mean it can't tweak higher. And UVXY just playing on the bottoms here. Bollinger Band's opening up. We got a little bit of a firing south here, so. I've not looked at gold any, and so I'm going to jump off in about 3 minutes. Igor, if you want, I'll give you back control. I've got to run to a meeting at 11 here. Let's see. Yeah, Vasily, you've been doing those 4D